This is 3.4, graphing using intercepts. Tomorrow we will have a quiz, so make sure you and one of these problems will be on the quiz. First off, we need to talk about finding x and y intercepts. So remember, draw a quick picture for x-intercept. So I'm going to draw a line, just any line. X-intercept is when your line crosses the x-axis. Remember, this is the x, it's your y. This is your x-intercept, or another word to call it is the root. Your y-intercept is when your line crosses the y-axis. Okay, so what's important about these two lines and how you find them is, for example, the y-intercept, it could be any number, and then this but the x is always 0 for that number. Okay, so 0 and then any number y. That's your y-intercept. For the x-intercept, it's the exact opposite. It could be any number x and then a 0. So for example, this point, it'd be like -3,2 or -3,0. The y value has to be 0 for your x-intercept, and for your y-intercept, the x value has to be 0. So that's super important to remember. Okay, so for number 1, if you want to find the x and y-intercept, so let's start with the x-intercept. So the x-intercept, the y is always 0. Y always 0. Okay, what that means is instead of y, I'm going to plug in a 0 into there. So essentially I have 2x plus 0 is equal to -4. So that 0 pretty much just goes away because it's 0. So I just need to solve for x. To solve for x, I would just divide. So this 0, I'm not even going to touch that 0. So I have 2x equals 4, so I'm going to divide both sides by 2. And I get x is equal to -2. That's your x-intercept, -2. To find your y-intercept, it's exactly the opposite. Okay. For y-intercept, the x is always 0. So what that means is for 2x plus y equals 0, or 2x plus y equals 4, the x is 0. So instead of this x there, I'm going to erase that, and I'm going to write 0 in there. So 2 times 0, or that should be a 4. So I have 2 times 0 plus y is equal to -4. So again, 2 times 0, that is 0. So we're not even going to use that. And that's what's so great about these intercepts is they always just go away. So I have y is equal to -4, and that is your y-intercept. So y-intercept is equal to -4. So here you have your x and your y-intercept. So the reason why those are so important is if you have two of those, you can just you can graph how your graph is going to look like. So for example, number 4, so you had to graph each line just using these two information. Okay, so first off, your x-intercept. So, or let's start with your y-intercept. Remember your y-intercept, y equals mx plus b. B is your y-intercept. And b, we either go up or down depending on if the number is positive or negative. So here, y-intercept is positive 4, so we're going to go up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, right there. That's your y-intercept. And your x-intercept, it's exactly the same thing. So for y-intercept, we go up and down. X-intercept, we just go left and right. So here it's a -5, so I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put a dot there. So now we got 2 dots. And it really is this simple. You got your 2 dots, you have your 2 intercept. Just a line through them both. And that is it. Okay, number 10. So we already have the skill to turn this into a y equals mx plus b problem. That way you have your slope and your y-intercept. But let's do this. Let's graph this graph just using our x and your y-intercept. So let's start with your x first. So x-intercept. Remember x-intercept, y is always 0. So then I'm going to plug in 0 into there. So 8x plus 0 is equal to 4. I see that 8x is equal to 4. I need x by itself. I'm going to divide both sides by 8. And you see I'm going to get x is equal to 4 over 8. That's the same as 1/2. So that is my x-intercept. So your x-intercept is 1/2. So I can go on my 1/2, which is in the middle right there. And then now I gotta do my y-intercept. So my y-intercept, remember y-intercept, x is always 0. So then I'm going to plug 0 in for my x. So I have 8 times 0 plus y is equal to positive 4. 8 times 0 is just 0, so that goes away. And you see I get y is equal to 4. That's your y-intercept. So then on here on your graph, I'll count up 4. Put a dot there. And then now I got 2 points. I could just draw a line to connect my 2 points. So this way you have a graph. If you want to find the slope, you can. But it's a quick way to sketch your graph and have an idea of where it's going. So the rest of this problem is exactly the same. They will get triggered with bigger numbers. Let's look at 13. So exactly the same. Find your x-intercept, your y-intercept, and then graph those 2 points. So x-intercept, again x-intercept, y always 0. So I'm going to put a 0 in the y spot. That's what I'm going to do. So I have 5x. 5x minus 2 times 0 is equal to negative 10. 2 times 0 is just 0, so I'm just going to cross it out. And I need x by itself, so I'm going to divide both sides by 5. And you see I'm going to get x is equal to negative 2. So that means your x-intercept is negative 2. So I'm going to go on your x-axis, count negative 2, put a dot there. Now do my y. Y-intercept, x is always 0. So my y-intercept, that means 5 times 0 minus 2y is equal to negative 10. So again, 5 times 0 is 0. I can cross that out. So now I need y by itself. I'm going to divide both sides by negative 2. And you see that y is going to equal positive 5. Therefore, my y-intercept is a positive 5. So now I can graph that. So go on my coordinate plane. I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put it out there. Once you have your 2 intercepts, you can graph them. So essentially you're just solving for x or solving for y, substituting 0 for the other one, whichever one you're looking for. Number 8 with this undefined, just remember undefined is a straight line up and down like that. So it's going to challenge